Who is from academia? You're tech transfer, it's like us, we are not from academia. Okay, because it will be about those three words, but if you are not in any of those, don't worry, it will be useful, I promise. Okay guys, so I wanted to tell you about the cooperation in creating social innovations within these three parties. So you have local public administration, in Polish Urząd Miasta, Urząd Wojewódzki, whatever. You have scientists and you have NGOs, active locally. And they are into creating some solutions for the problems, social problems. And, okay, thank you. Yep. Okay. And my problem is that it's not effective. And I will just show you some examples why, but I will leave you with some recommendations what can be changed in here. Okay, so basically I represent this association of knowledge transfer companies. The only thing I would like you to know from those numbers is that we know a little about R&D projects for the business and for the society, so I quite know what I am talking about because we did it. And this is crucial if you look at it, because these are lessons learned from last two crises, 2020 and 2022, so COVID time and war in Ukraine. And my problem is that the contact in looking for solutions in, there is a problem, massive problem, social problem, and we have to develop some solution. The link between local administration and NGOs, it's okay. If you look what was done in COVID times when we were helping to hospitals, and if you look to people from Ukraine that went to Poland and there was a humanitarian aid needed, it was NGOs who reacted first and so on. So it works fine. But I see one gap, and you should be aware of this gap and should not make the same mistakes. It's the academia. Because in Poland you have like 110,000 scientists willing, sometimes they are not aware of it, but willing to help you, and there is no good connection in times of crisis between NGOs and public administration and universities. I will explain it in a moment. So, what I would like you to do, because for me, being in places like here with presentation, is about ROI, return on investment. So what is the return on investment from me being here? It is you thinking about those two statements. If you work at the university, I would really like you to think, after this discussion we have right now, to think, how can I be more open to NGOs and local administration to jointly create something? And if you work as a representative of the local administration or an NGO, I would like you to encourage you to rethink, when going back home, about how can I be more open to scientists in this process? Am I just declaring it? Do I have time, space and processes to work with these guys or not? So this is my ROI from today's presentation. I forgot about people who just make the translation. I apologize. I will try to talk slower. Okay, so what will appear on next slides? I would like you to give you my own two case studies from 2020 and 2022. And I would then tell you what went wrong and why, and make some conclusions and recommendations resulting from them. So, two case studies, lessons learned, and recommendations. I will give time. Okay. So this is the first thing we did with Staszek together. And I really think it was the moment that we had this chance and used this opportunity to do something useful. March 2020. Pandemic, COVID in Poland begins, and we all want to help hospitals. All of us, we were just calling the hospitals, buying drinking water, buying pizzas, delivering them on our own to the hospitals. And if you rethink of it, it was very nice, heartbreaking, but stupid. Because calling to hospitals means you are disturbing doctors in treatment of their patients. Buying something on your own, it means you can buy something that is not needed, like another pizza. And delivering it on your own to the hospital means you are increasing the threat of pandemic disease. Yep, then it will move forward. So it was not effective. And that's the problem we described here. So, spread of coronavirus, broad but uncoordinated and chaotic health. And what we did, and it was a group of scientists, IT people, and people from NGO, we said, no, we must do something with it. We must help this system to be more effective. And in the same time, it was the press release of the Salesforce, the biggest IT, one of the biggest IT from US company, saying, we will give for free our licenses if you have some COVID solutions. And we used that moment. We went to our rector of our university, he sent an email to the CEO of the Salesforce, and the guy responded within 5 hours saying, Maciej, no worries, I will give you those free licenses, €1 million a month for free. And from this March 2020, for 1 month, all the time working, we created a system that was a platform that was helping hospitals. So you had 3 players in this. You had hospitals declaring their needs in the system. One person from the hospital saying, I need this and this from the list. You had people that were saying, okay, I can buy this, I can buy this. So donors that were using this platform just to declare what will they donor, so what goods they will buy. And in the middle, we were looking actively in Poland for local coordinators. So these guys were helping, taking care of hospital, but talking with donors, collect goods and delivering to the hospital in the name of all those people. So having this system, it means you don't have those 3 bad issues. Missed taking time for the hospital, buying something that is not needed, and going alone and increasing the risk of pandemic. Yeah? So it was really effective. And after 3 months, based on this Salesforce, by the way, here you can see the graphic map, this is a Tableau software. It was magic because whenever the company was calling to us and saying, guys, what are the needs of the hospitals? Because we have like 20,000 zloty, we would like to buy something to them. We were just sending the link to this graph, to the map. And they were just clicking in the city, choosing the hospital and seeing their needs. And saying, okay, we will buy like 10,000 bottles of something. And it was our local coordinators who took it from the company and delivered it to the hospital. So they just needed to buy it, nothing else. And the moment the product was delivered to the hospital, and the hospital said in the system, checked in the system, yeah, we have it, it was already gone. So it was for donors, they had this proof that it was delivered, and it's not a need anymore. So if you look and you think of this system, and then because of Staszek activity, we got EU money, and we were able to copy-paste this system to Ukraine. And it was tested among 20 hospitals, and it worked well as well. But you can say, what went wrong? What was the problem? And what do you think? Creating this system, building this network of hospitals and this network of local coordinators, we did it. But what was the market reaction? What was the... And I'm not talking about donors. What do you think, what was the major problem? The major problem was this. Whoever we talk, and I repeat, it's not about donors, it's not about hospitals, we have them in the system. Whenever we talk to NGOs and saying, guys, we have something for you, it will help you, it will be much more effective, you will have better access to donors, you will have everything in one system, Salesforce-based system, not your Google Excel sheet in the cloud, you're totally lost because of it. And they said, no, but we are already helping, this is our hospital, why would you like to take our hospital? And we said, no, we don't want to take your hospital, come on, it's a system for you. It's for you, you're helping, not us. We create the solution. No, but this is our hospital. And it was so strange for us, because we reached like 300 NGOs, and 250 replied that way. I mean, no, 200 didn't reply at all, because it's always a problem of replying an email. I know NGOs, they don't have money, and they don't have manpower, but they are not replying emails with solutions. But the fun part was that cities did this precisely the same. When we talked to Poznań city and said, guys, we do have an effective system, and we have signals from your Department of Health that you have a problem with your Excel in cloud, we have solutions for you. And the reply was, but we are helping to our hospitals. But I had in the system 12 hospitals in Poznań, and they were just fixing on 2, so I know this is not the proper answer. No, you are not helping, you are helping just part of it. And every city replied in the same way. So instead of saying, okay, convince me, show me how does it work, how can I use it, they said immediately, no, we are helping. And the biggest surprise for us is when we reach the big corporate foundations. They are collecting money and buying things. And we said, we do have an effective system for you. And again, we heard the same. But we are helping. This is our job and this is our duty. We do this. We don't need you. nobody was like thinking, okay, show it to us, let's test the system. Why am I saying this? Because it's always, we are saying a lot about trust and openness, but when there is a crisis situation, we behave precisely like this. So we forget about trust, and we forget about openness. I will go back to this in a moment. And the second problem, it was very similar, because when the war began, it was February 2022, we called all our friends. Sometimes they were scientists, sometimes they were CEOs of the companies, and we asked the question, where are you? And the response was always the same, well, I'm going to Przemyśl to help to one or the second family. And we said, perfect, but you are a CEO of the company, or you are a dean of the faculty. We can create some system solutions. It won't be humanitarian help, we all do humanitarian help, but it will be development help. Let's do something like a systematic solution, not for one family, but for a group in our region. And the response was like, you're right, this is silly. I mean, why do I behave in the way that I am doing like sandwiches all the time? And I'm a professor, I can do some system solutions. It will be much more effective than just doing sandwiches. I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm saying that these guys could do more than sandwiches. So what we did, we asked and built a team of 34 scientists from 4 universities, and we had this one aim of making Wielkopolska, our vivid ship, a good place to live and work for people fleeing from war to Poland from Ukraine. So what can be done in terms of culture, security, education, household, whatever, everything, to make this place for 2-3 years, not 2 months, because the war won't end that soon, that Wielkopolska will be a better place. And we developed 39 ideas in 8 thematic areas. You have those areas here on the list. And we test 2. One, it was about boosting Ukrainian businesses, because we had to realize that these people who came from Ukraine are better than us, better skilled, with better education and business skills. So it's not about giving them job for 2,000 Polish zloty, cleaning spaces only. It's about helping them developing those businesses in Poland, in Poznań, for example. And we have the network of companies, contractors. We have it, every university has its own laboratories that can be used to create new products. Let's build a network of makerspace for Ukrainians, whatever. So, and the second thing we tested, it was about counteracting and radicalization and conflicts by municipalities. So we had, every week we have meetings with PR from municipality, and we've been discussing with our experts from academia, from different universities, where there will be tensions between Poles and Ukrainians, and what must be done to avoid, blood and this radicalization. And what was the problem? Well, cities for 6+ months, they were busy in humanitarian aid. And I am not saying this is wrong, I am saying this is not enough. Because what you see here, this is a business model of activity, this book here, lessons learned from COVID. And number one lesson from COVID for Poznań, when we discussed this, it was a project, having those lessons and learn from them, it was whenever there will be a next something big, extreme and crisis, we must behave differently than we behaved in 2020 when there was a COVID time. So we must think what solutions will be needed, and whenever there is somebody from the business, NGO or university who would like to help, we will have answer for him. Yeah, this is project number 22, go to them. That you will be addressed there. They will grab you, they will use your skills, and it will be effective. You don't need to knock from door to door, from department to department, that you would like to do something. So this was the number one lesson. Let's strategically prepare the solutions and the process of taking people from the market if they want to help. And we didn't. We didn't use any of those, from this model, any of those solutions. So it was, no, we don't have time right now. I know you have scientists, I know you would like to talk about longer term development solutions, but now we must really do the humanitarian. And for me, something is missing here. I know they had to, and they did. But not talking for a year about these development activities that can be done for 1 and 2nd vivid ship to prepare better systematic solutions, we missed this chance. And again, we saw that whenever there is a crisis, I'm complaining a little, sorry. Whenever there's a crisis, it was good cooperation between NGOs and public administration, but whenever somebody from academia was trying to help, it was, no, this is for NGOs, we are here, fine. It's like, okay, but in this city you have 20,000 scientists, you really don't like to use them? You have 400,000 students, maybe you will use them? No. NGOs and public administration, this is enough. We are working closely together and this is for us. And the third problem for me, there was zero public grants for development issues. It was only about humanitarian issues. It was about buying things to give to Ukrainians. I'm not saying it is wrong. I'm saying, again, missed opportunity. There was zero for 1 year from the war started, the whole 2022, zero public grants that we could create some system development solutions there. Okay, so what are the conclusions and recommendations? For each of us, of course, we believe in trust and openness, that's why we are here, but we must really put them into practice. It means that there is in our organization somebody who will reply to this kind of proposals and discuss them in details. I don't have time, it's not trust and it's not openness. The second thing, if you are an NGO, so it will be a recommendation for NGO, you should learn how to see opportunities in partnership and how to grab them, how to catch them. And I will give you a simple case study from yesterday. We are doing this research about digital skills, and I sent it emails to 50 NGOs who are taking care of people with disabilities. And only one out of this list of 50 called me back. This is cool, I will help you with the CAVI research you do. And in the same conversation he said, by the way, we are creating some products for hiking for people with disabilities. And immediately I grabbed it and I say, I have scientists from that, we can help you this way, that way. We have funds, we have VCs, let's do it. And it was like, oh my God, we should definitely meet. It was just one call and we created the concept how we can work together in another innovation. But only because he had time, he read this email, replied, and had this trust to say, okay, I will call the guy and I will talk to him. It was enough to create something new. 1 out of 50. I know they are busy and without money. And for administration, in every crisis, whenever there's a problem, the public administration, local administration, they must be able to build broad coalitions around key challenges. It cannot be about 2-3 NGOs we know well, and the rest is not for us. You know what I heard when we called few cities with this issue of scientists having ideas for Ukrainians? We heard in the phone, okay, can you send it to email help@city.pl? Nobody from that email even replied because nobody's reading those emails. It's like 200,000 emails per day on this email. So, you know, scientists are calling, saying that they have some good ideas, can we talk? And the reply was, send it to the spam.ctpl. And for scientists, and this is like for me, I'm not saying that the problem is all over us, not with us. We are here for impact. And then in one response, I told you that sometimes we do not react fast enough. So we wait for the crisis to stop, so we can go back to didactics and writing theses and so on. So there are things we have to, accelerate and be more active and react, because we are here as scientists for impact. We are here to change our environment. But it means no crown. What does it mean, no crown? If we call to public administrators or NGOs and offer help, and they say no, we cannot be, like, how dare you, we are scientists. No crown means talk to them, try another time, try the 10th time. Okay, you are here to change it. Maybe simple, but 2 crisis situations teach us that this is not simple. Thank you very much.